I just wanted to make a quick video on the way I voted. I was watching YouTube and some of the Ron Paul footage, and I have to come out and say that I am officially embarrassed by the fact that I voted for Ron Paul. I initially was of the mind that he could use, or that he was using his logic and common sense to see that having military bases overseas and involving ourselves in foreign entanglements, as it's put in the Constitution, which isn't the best, but it's a good starting point, and using his logic to want to abolish things like the IRS that aren't working anymore and were a blatant misuse of what it was initially intended for, at least as far as I know. And I thought he was going to use his intelligence, because he's obviously an extremely intelligent person. But there's just a couple seconds, and I'll play you the audio, that made me realize my mistake. Here.
All of the candidates were asked if they believed the theory of evolution to be true, and they had a show of hands, but I didn't see which way you voted, so I wondered if you took it to be true, and should it be false?
Well, at first I thought it was a very inappropriate question, for the presidency to be decided on a scientific matter.
That was it. He thought it was an inappropriate question for the presidency to be decided on a scientific matter. What methods was he using to decide that the IRS was not working, or that it should be abolished? What method was he using to come to the conclusion that we need to bring our troops home and focus on the problems that we have here? What issues does he believe that the presidency should be elected on? Spiritual matters? Would that not then be a pope that would be electing, and not a president? Would it be a personal drama? Wouldn't we then be electing the most favorite celebrity, and not a president? It's important to me to realize that I made a mistake and had not done my due diligence. I had made an assumption that because his logic was sound in these other areas, that his religious misprogramming, his internal conflict with logic and spirituality had more of a drastic effect than I had anticipated, or had realized initially. He's obviously an extremely intelligent man. To be a doctor and understand the workings of the body has taken me years and years and years to grasp, and I still am just barely doing it. But to be able to have that understanding and know the biology and disregard his knowledge of the facts, the way things are, that he's studied and he's seen firsthand, to disregard that evidence for the teachings of a 2,000-year-old religion And the only reason he believes those is because his parents taught it to him before he was of an age to discriminate fact from fantasy. That, to me, shows a danger of character. That's a danger, to be able to disregard facts for a fantasy like that. I know it's after the fact. I know he didn't get elected, and thankfully so now. But again, it's important to me to understand where I made my mistake and to be able to better recognize it in the future on the off chance that we have another vote for a president. Oh, I also want to add at the end of this an appreciation for what Cosmic Zen is doing with the Logical Party. It seemed like a fantastic idea to me initially, originally, and I still think it's a fantastic idea, and it's continuing to seem more and more like a movement we should all get behind. Whether you're religious or not, the Logical Party, or a Logical Party, I'm going with Cosmic Zen's Logical Party, to be able to use facts and evidence to determine what affects you in this world. Again, regardless of whether you're religious or not, the facts affect you. Fantasy does not. So using logic to decide the human state and letting religion decide the afterlife or more spiritual side, but we have to use logic to rule and govern our physical selves, because the fantasy doesn't affect us. So here's a thumbs up, Cos. Thank you.